had storm warnings come through. We were running around trying to hold the coops down, but this morning when I went out, this little one I thought was dead, and she is barely alive. But we're gonna do our best to save her. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I wouldn't normally record this, but I went on this morning looking for help on YouTube and I didn't find any information. And so I'm going to put this video up in hopes that if someone else has the same thing, maybe they'll be able to save their guinea.
These are our baby guineas, and Buddy loves them. He hangs outside of their cage. He does go in there when he remembers he can fly into that enclosure, but occasionally he forgets, even though he just flew out of it. So he walks the perimeter, trying to figure out how he can get in and be with them. She literally shakes with storms, like hates them. Thunder, you're okay. You're okay. We have dogs crying from thunder. We have bunnies thumping. No animals are happy. We don't like storms.
So last night we had storm warnings come through. So we were running around trying to hold the coops down because they had strong wind advisories. This is one of our baby guineas, and these three went in the bottom of the coop and I could not get them up in the top part of the coop. They got wet. Maggie was going crazy all night we were up with her. I just kept looking out the window thinking, I hope my baby guineas went up into that coop. But this morning when I went out, they hadn't. Two were wet but awake, and then this little one I thought was dead, and then I saw it breathes. I'm gonna try and warm her up, get her to drink, get her to open her eyes. She's super weak right now, and to be honest, I don't think there's a lot of hope of her making it. Brought her in the house, trying to warm her up right now. I'm just gonna dry her up here. Her little feet are so cold. I'm just gonna wrap her in some paper towel instead of this towel and get her in the heating blanket. You can see her little feet are just white. They're colorless and they're so cold. Julia's getting the heat lamp. Okay, go get back on school. Thank you. I don't know how much hope I have of warming her up, getting her strong, but we're gonna sit in the laundry room today. I've got a heating blanket and a towel to get her dried up. I feel her little legs moving a bit. Guineas don't like to be picked up, generally speaking. She didn't even move when I went to go get her. I'm gonna set up a heat lamp here and see if we can get her warmed up enough that the blood starts flowing. So we'll see how this goes. So we've got the heat lamp out. Julia's doing school beside me. Just trying to fluff up her feathers here.
Is it a girl or a boy?
It's a girl.
Oh.
So under her wings, her body is still pretty cold, but it's definitely starting to warm up. And her legs are starting to get a little bit warmer. So I've got her on a heating blanket, and then she's right under the heat lamp. I am getting very hot, and it stinks pretty bad in here. I'm not gonna lie. Scott says
Do it in the garage.
Just do it in the garage or give up. He says it's not gonna live, but that's the one part I'm definitely not good at, is accepting death. So I will work for hours trying to save these little guys.
Look how cute it is.
Sometimes it turns out and sometimes it doesn't. But at least then I know I've tried.
And you haven't just not done anything, and you've at least tried to do whatever you can.
So I'm gonna turn her over. So this does seem to be helping. She opened her eyes a second ago, moved her head, which is more than she's done.
Like moved her head up to the stomach. Almost. I mean, she's
We're just slowly trying to get her warmed up.
She might not go up this, but she does like the being in the warmness. She has a shaving right there.
Yeah, I know. She's still pretty cold, but her feathers are at least starting to dry up. The animal saving, I was always that kid that was rescuing things from outside. And
like what?
any little thing I found. Tried to nurse it back to health.
A snail?
That's how we ended up with cats. That's how we ended up with a lot of animals. If you find yourself in the same position where you come across, I guess a chicken would be the same, or a guinea, but any bird who's been out wet, cold, just really make sure that you're lifting the wing, because under here, even though they're drying on top, their body is really cold and she's slowly starting to warm. They don't have feathers under here really. And so there's not much to keep them. She's starting to become like body temperature almost. She was a little block of ice in here. And she's slowly starting to move a bit now, and her legs, like she grips on now. She's slowly starting to come to life here. Her head is still, well, it's getting there. So I just keep trying to turn her over, and you can see her feathers are starting to fluff up. So I'm just gonna keep at this for a bit. I'm just drying his back right now, but well, her back, she can hold up her head a little bit.
She's trying to fight. But
She's fighting to survive.
she's also just trying to...
So I've just been taking kind of paper towels and trying to help dry the feathers. Once she seems strong enough, I'm gonna try and get her to drink a little bit, just to get...
You don't need to go grab some food.
Oh, she won't be able to eat food right now, honey. She's way too weak.
She's all good. We're gonna...
And I don't know that I would use a dropper at this point. She's very weak. Okay, so we've been at it for, I think, a couple of hours. Trying to save this little one, and she's still pretty weak, but she's starting to, if I try and move her, she's starting to try and fight and stand on her legs and spread her wings. So I think, I'm hopeful that she is gonna make it. So right now I'm gonna go put her back into our brooder actually, so I can hang a heat lamp just to keep her warm and still dry up. I'm gonna try and get the other two in there too, because they were wet but still walking around. So I'm gonna go try and help the other two.
If you have your own stories of success for saving animals, or if you have other tips and tricks, we'd love to hear it in the comments below. Check out our other videos, and don't forget to hit subscribe, like, and the notification bell. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Barn Boots and Country Roots.
So Julia and I are off to the tack store right now because last minute we decided we're gonna do the horse show tomorrow. So we have to go get a few extra things like a saddle pad, some trailer ties, and Julia needs some new breeches. So
Yeah.
she's on a lunch break. We are heading off to the tack store.